Good morning, Oldsmar. Welcome to Weekend Update. Happy Friday, weekend wake up. I'm your host, Mayor Dan Saracki. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you're here. I'm with our co-producer, Deb Vitrelli, and engineer Mark McGinley. Deb, let's talk first about that Lightning game last night. What was that?
It was insane is what it was.
That was just an amazing game. I loved it when it said 0.9. Then they went and changed it because they felt sorry for them. But anyways, the Lightning are on fire. They've won 2 games away to take the lead in the series 2-0. What a great accomplishment for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Congratulations to the Lightning. We look forward to the next 2 games at home. Before we get started, just a reminder, you have any questions on today's program, be sure to post them, and I will come back at the end of the episode to answer them on Facebook. So don't forget, any questions today, post them on Facebook, and we'll get back to you. And I promise if I don't have the answer, I'll find out. Upcoming events in the city of Oldsmar. Now, this is weather permitting for outdoors. The Oldsmar Job Fair, free, this Saturday, May 21st from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the hockey rink. The Oldsmar Sports Complex, the Lightning rink right in the sports complex, a variety of industries offering over 400 jobs that will be on site to discuss employment opportunities and with applications. Bring resumes and dress to impress, just like this tie for Memorial Day, dress to impress. Miss Suda's Dancers Spring Recital, free this Saturday, May 21st, 6 p.m., Ariolds Park. Students showcase their hard work presented during the Spring Recital for the community to enjoy. Bob Seymour Jr.'s Memorial Fishing Tournament, free to the kids. This Saturday, May 28th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., Mobley Bayou Wilderness Preserve. Anglers 16 years and over can participate against friends and peers to compete for prizes and raffle items. Bring your rods, your bait, boat, and land fishing allowed. Have fun, catch some fish. Holiday closures. City offices, facilities, and library will close on Monday, May 30th in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. Regular business hours will resume the following day. Harbor Palms Phase 3 public hearing. Thursday, June 2nd, 5 to 7 p.m., Sheffield Park, Pavilion number 2. Opportunity to stop by any time to provide your input, ask questions, and learn more about the final phase of the Harbor Palms infrastructure project. And if you don't know this, Phase 1 has already been completed. Phase 2 is about 1/3 done. You can drive over there and check out the Harbor Palms infrastructure Phase 2 if you want. But the Phase 3 will be starting. There's going to be a public meeting, so join us, learn how it's going to affect your street if you live in that area. One other thing I want to talk about is the Oldsmar Historical Society. The Jolly Trolley Tour tickets are now on sale. They're only $20 each. There are going to be 3 tours available, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2 p.m. The cost is only $20 per person. The tours are about an hour and 15 minutes long. After the tour, you will have refreshments at the Women's Club. Join the Jolly Trolley. Support the Historical Society. Tickets are available at the Oldsmar Historical Society Museum or call our president, Mary Ann Cruz, at 813-716-7434. Jolly Trolley Tour. Don't miss it. One other item I want to talk about is Honor Our Heroes Memorial Day 5K Run. It's on May 28th. Oldsmar Cares, the Tampa Bay Brewing Company, and the City of Oldsmar are the sponsors for this event. We are expecting to attract more than 600 runners and supporters, starting at City Hall, which is right across the street from us. Runners and walkers will be guided along the waters of Upper Tampa Bay through several of Oldsmar's beautiful parks, including Veterans Park on Shore Drive. Following the run, there will be drinks for all, along with snack, food, beer for those over 21 and plus. This is a family event, and 100% of the proceeds will go to local VFW and Oldsmar Cares. So the cause is a great one. Bring your family, your friends, and join us for a great day. To learn more about all these events, visit myoldsmar.com. All right, with that, let's get started with our guest today. I am honored, very honored, to introduce our guest for today, David Bear, Post Commander of the Oldsmar VFW Post 12186. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
I am so glad and honored that you are here to join us today. Let's get started by talking a little bit about leadership. How long have you been the Oldsmar's Post Commander?
Our post was installed on the 19th of April, 2019, so this will be completing the third year, and I'm their only commander thus far. So,
well, that's congratulations on getting that started for the city of Oldsmar. What a great achievement. All-American status as a post commander. Can you explain that to us, to our listeners?
For the VFW, All-American status is probably the most prestigious thing you can get. We're separated into divisions, much like any other organization, and only the top 25 in each division get that status at post level. At district level, it's even more difficult, and we were able to obtain that 2 out of our first 3 years.
Fantastic. Congratulations. That's a great achievement. And for yourself, what arm of military did you serve?
I served from 87 to 96 in both the Army and the Army Reserve.
Now, before the show, you told me a little story about your mom. What did she say when you told her you were going to join the Army?
She was very unhappy and tried to dissuade me in a multitude of ways, but thankfully I won that discussion for once, and here I am today with not just myself as a veteran, but my son is now a veteran as well.
What a great accomplishment. And look what you've done for the city of Oldsmar with our VFW club. It's a great organization right here in the city. Thank you so much for all what you do. It means a lot to us. So last night, I wanted to talk a little bit about the meeting. I attended the meeting. So glad I went because I wanted to talk to you, first of all, about today's event so that we could talk just about what we're going to talk about. But one thing I wanted to mention was last night, there came a knock on the door, and they said, would you please like to join us to see the induction of the new officer and leadership of the VFW? Why don't you explain that a little bit?
Every year, around about this time, we go ahead and elect the officers for the upcoming year. And I am very happy to say that the new cadre, which will be led by your very own local David McKinley, he's taking over as commander when the gavel drops at the June convention. So the new officers are installed, and we continue to help serve the community.
Yeah, it was very interesting how everyone put their hand on their shoulders, and then they got sworn in. I really enjoyed that. I'm so glad that that knock came along the door so we could witness that experience.
Unfortunately, what you couldn't see from your vantage point was the commander who was standing in the front. His hand touches the flag. So it's a very, very important ceremony to have.
One of the special highlights for me actually witnessing was the handing over of the gavel. I thought that was really impressive how that gavel got handed over to David McKinley as the new leader of the VFW. I really thought that was special, a special day, and I appreciate you inviting the auxiliary members in to see that. All right, let's talk a little bit about your background. Explain to our readers our listeners, what is the VFW? What is the VFW to our audience?
VFW is an organization that's, taking away our official chartered missions. Is basically we help veterans, their families, and the community with everything from education to community programs.
And when was it founded?
The VFW was founded in 1899. By a group of people who just were sitting around a table, much like we are, and they decided that veterans were being overlooked. So from 1899 to now, if you receive, or if you're a family member and have received any military benefit, you can pretty well guarantee the VFW had a hand in it.
Great. Why don't you explain a little bit about the auxiliary, which I'm in. So you're in the... I'm in the auxiliary, and you're with the what?
Veterans of Foreign Wars are the actual veterans themselves who have served in some type of hazardous area overseas, and the auxiliary are the relatives lateral, meaning brothers and sisters, or 2 generations up or down, parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren, of a qualifying VFW member. So even if that qualifying member doesn't want to be in the VFW for a reason I can't even imagine, then those family members can still join.
Well, what's funny is when I was my sister is about 8 years older than me. She said when we were little, my father had a samurai sword hanging on the wall in the basement, which she had no idea where it came from. And then when we moved out to Depew, New York, the sword was gone. She never saw it again. And with the VFW, you did some research for my father, who I had no idea served in on his tombstone, it says he served in World War II, but we had no idea what he did in World War II. I tried to find myself some history information, couldn't find anything. The VFW, with your help, found everything on my father, which I have shared with my nieces, my nephew, my brother, my sister, my family members. We found out that he actually was overseas in Japan during World War II for the Coast Guard. We found out because of the VFW that he had sunk two submarines on his ship as a Coast Guard and saved numerous amount of servicemen and got them back out to sea to the ships. So I learned all that information from the VFW, and I am grateful and honored for that, and just honored to be a member of the VFW. Thank you so much for that.
It's one of those things that we do that the public is just totally unaware of.
Right, and believe me, I had no idea that you guys could do that for my family, and my family is grateful. We actually were able to obtain his high school records from the federal government through the VFW with your whatever you got, your passwords and logins to the internet, and we were able to find out his teeth records. I mean, his vaccine, everything about my father that we had no idea, any idea about. We even have his high school records. Wow. He was an A student in high school. We had no idea. So great information that we found. I thank you for that. Is this a nonprofit organization?
The VFW and the auxiliary are both nonprofits. I describe us as a funding funnel. We take whatever funds are donated and we try to use them and apply them in the community and through veterans organizations where they'll do the most good for the most people.
Wonderful. That's great. That's great news. All right, a purpose. How many years has Oldsmar organization existed?
Well, we were actually again installed in April of 2019. So officially our post is only 3 years old, but it took several years prior to that to even get to this point.
At the beginning of the show, we talked a little bit about how you made the decision to come to Oldsmar. Let's talk about that.
Well, once we obtained that swath of land that nobody had really taken, the next district commander had asked me to go ahead and look at a couple of different places. We had decided on Land O'Lakes or Oldsmar. Department wanted to have a new VFW in this newly obtained areas. And I drove through both, and it was a no-brainer. The Oldsmar is probably the most patriotic town I've ever been in.
That's wonderful. Yeah, Veterans Park is a treasure for our city. We enjoy that, and I'm so glad you picked Oldsmar. And what was the process for Oldsmar's VFW post to start? Oh, we just talked about that. How does the VFW support veterans?
Well, besides our direct support of sitting around tables and discussing things, and service officers that help veterans and their families get funds. We have a national home for children in Eaton Rapids, Michigan, for widows and their orphans. We fund that. We have a veterans home here in the state of Florida that is the only, we'll call it a nursing home, but it's a veterans home that is solely supported by the VFW. It gets no state or federal funding whatsoever. So those are just a couple of things, not to mention our community service projects, which vary from post to post. So the needs of veterans in the community here in Oldsmar is obviously different than, say, Hoboken, New Jersey. So we kind of adapt to whatever you guys are doing already right and just try to help.
Well, even last night at the meeting, I just want to share something. Jan Llewellyn came up to me, and she said, "Mayor, can you do me a favor? Can you fill out this hello card?" and just sign it. And so I filled out, a hello card, just, wrote the person a little note. And I said, Jan, where's this card go? She says, we take it right to the hospital. It's a veteran who might be having some issues. And we hand that card over to him. And she said that little card is just a reminder that there's other people out there, VFW members out there, that care about our veterans. And I thought that was a special thing, and I was honored to do that. So every time I come to the meeting next time, I'm going to do 2 or 3 of them and keep doing them so that she can give them out.
Yeah, we put a donation box out wherever we go. Say we do a second Friday, we'll put a donation box out, and that's one of the many different programs that those funds go to, because people don't realize that the veterans, when they go into these hospitals, they don't necessarily get a care package that you would at, say, your local community hospital. All the other things they get, the comfort items, they come from us.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn all that. And thank you for sharing that. Let's explain the VFW Auxiliary, which we already talked about a little bit. Why don't you explain a little bit more?
The VFW Auxiliary is almost a mirror of the VFW itself. The only difference is the VFW are the actual veterans that went overseas, and the auxiliary are the family members. But people kind of minimize the auxiliary, and they don't realize some of the trials that those family members go through. Mm-hmm. So they're just as important, if not more so.
Yeah, of learning that. And it's a great organization. I really enjoy going to the meetings. It's very structured. It's very like prayer, flag, structured, and I like the structure of the way the meetings are handled.
There's a time to do business, and those couple of hours a month, or sometimes just a few hours a year, those are the times we're regimented and get the business done so we can go out and have fun and help people.
All right, let's talk a little bit. Where do we meet, and then the future? Where do we want to find a place in Oldsmar?
Well, originally when we were first installed, Jack Willie's, a local organization, was kind enough to donate some space for us. Once we outgrew that, we moved over to Tico Hall at the local library, with the graciousness of the city. And hopefully very soon we will be outgrowing that. And so we're going to need the community's help here to try to find us the next spot.
I'm going to help with that. We need to find a place. And as I mentioned, my wife and I like to go over to the VFW in Safety Harbor for that fish fry. I'd love to have our VFW in Oldsmar here offer a Friday fish fry.
Well, even if we could even just start off with an office that we could sit down and have a chaplain and a service officer available to do the more common things that we do, would be a huge help. And then again, we're both on the same page as far as long-term goals of actually having a facility where we can host things.
Well, let's work on it together.
Amen.
What do you think? Amen. All right, let's talk about membership costs. And I know all about it, but I'd like you to explain it, please.
Well, I'll let you give the numbers for the auxiliary, but on the VFW side of the house, each post dues are different. They're annual dues. For our post here in Oldsmar, we set a price of $40 a year. A large portion of that goes to VFW National for processing and all kinds of other things. And then a small portion of it is kept back here at the post level to put into the community in whatever ways we need it. There's also lifetime memberships. Starting if you're 80 and above, it's only $170 a year. And I believe that maxes out at, $425 for the youngest member. And on the VFW side of the house, once you're a life member, we have 3 other tiers: legacy life membership, where the post in the community, the state and national, will get a small stipend based on your membership as long as that post exists. Interesting.
So for me, I became a member, and then I received a welcome letter from the VFW, and in there it said that, go to the website and log in, and you can sign up or change your membership. So I immediately went in and purchased the lifetime membership. I don't believe it was very expensive. I think it was under a little $200.
We are the smallest group as far as fraternal orders for military veterans, and yet our dues are the least.
Yeah.
It is amazing what we can do with so little.
I know it really is. I'm very impressed, and just only being involved in the last half a year, very, very impressed. All right, I know you got something special to your heart. You want to talk about the Buddy Poppies? What's going on with that?
Well, ironically enough, today is the 98th birthday of our trademark for the Buddy Poppy. The Buddy Poppy has been around, a lot longer than that, but the VFW has the trademark on the Buddy Poppy itself. And the reason why that's so important is the Buddy Poppies are assembled by disabled and needy veterans. So when we hand these out, we don't sell them. When we hand them out, we ask for a donation. Those donation funds go to programs to compensate those veterans that assemble them. Some of those funds go to the veterans home that we had talked about earlier. Again, it's a mighty little flower, but it's very, very significant. And it just turned 98, so.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Buddy Poppy.
Yeah, happy birthday. Very good. All right, before we end, you want to talk a little bit about that 5K run that we're going to be at?
Well, the RVFW Post gets involved with a great many things, and one of our major things is the Oldsmar and Tampa Bay Brewing Company sponsored Honor Our Heroes Memorial 5K Run. Register at runsignup.com. Type in Honor Our Heroes. That'll be the only one that'll pop up, and they're looking for 600 runners, participants. But I even have my mom, who's in Wyandotte, Michigan, signed up to run. She's obviously not going to come down to run, but I want to see 700 or 800 people signed up, not just 600.
That's great.
Every dollar stays in your own local community. How can you beat that?
Exactly. Thank you so much for doing that. I want you just to know that this morning, when I was reading over the script here, I typed in Honor Our Heroes Memorial 5K Run, May 28th, and it popped right up. It went right to the website to sign up and register to run or walk in the race.
Those that have organized that cannot make it any easier for you.
Yeah,
they really can't. And
David Emos, he reached out to me via email and said, "Please, can you please kick off this run event at 7:30 a.m. and I'm going to be honored to be there. I'm going to bring my coffee and I'll be there ready to go, and I look forward to it."
I'm glad you mentioned his name because he is also one of our VFW members. We have a lot of prominent people here in the city as members in either our auxiliary or our membership.
Yeah, we've got Andrew Knapp, our council member. Andrew Knapp is a member. We've got Vice Mayor Buckman. He's also a member. We have council member Katie Gannon. She's also a member. So yeah, we've got some strong presence in the city council and the VFW club.
And the Veterans Advisory Board, the chairman, John Ruckert, was our original quartermaster.
Yes.
He's a life member of our VFW.
I actually left him a voicemail this morning, and him and I have been texting all morning long. He belongs to my church, so I like seeing, and he's a great community advocate and a great neighbor. All right, other guest discussion points. Anything else you want to talk about that maybe we might have left something out?
Just mainly membership. So many people think that joining the VFW or the auxiliary isn't an important thing. When we storm the Capitol to get these benefits for members or their family members, we can't do that if we only have 10 members. We need those million members. And unfortunately, the available members to have are going to be declining in these next few years. So those membership numbers are important on both sides of the house. And even if you were to never walk into a VFW ever, that membership matters, those funds matter, and heaven forbid you should need a service officer or something, we're going to be available. And that's another special thing to note, too. Even if you're not a member of the VFW, if you're a veteran, a VFW service officer may be able to still help you. You don't have to be a member of the VFW to have our service office help. So widows, children, whatever, contact us. We're here to help you.
Very good. Thank you so much, David. Last thing I want to talk with you about is a special day coming up, a Memorial Day ceremony. It's free. It's going to be on Monday, May 30th at 10 a.m. at Veterans Park. All the citizens of Oldsmar, everybody in the community is welcome to join us. And city officials will be there. They honor those who have served and sacrificed for our country. So there's going to be a lot of people there who have lost loved ones, family members. And I want to share one last story, and then I want to give you the floor before we move on to questions and answer. So you found the information about my father. Well, then I found out that my grandfather's oldest brother lost his life in battle in World War I. I had no idea. I found that out because of Judy Kennedy and the VFW, and found out that he came over from Krakow, Poland. I'll tell the story on Memorial Day, but he lost his life, and I had no idea. I had no idea any of this information. And again, your magic passwords, whatever you did, you found out all this information about Walter Saracki, my great uncle, who sacrificed his life for my freedom. And I look forward to telling that story with the constituents of the city of Oldsmar. And is there anything else you would like to add about Memorial Day?
Just that it is a somber occasion.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're there,
Mm-hmm.
understand that it hurts.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I read the story from the information you found about my uncle. I had no idea the sacrifice that he gave, and it's sad. It's going to be a sad day, but we're going to pull through, and we're going to make it through. All right.
Agreed.
Yep. Anything else?
Just have a wonderful day, and God bless America.
I love it. God bless America. We're going to move back. Deb, any questions for Facebook?
There are a few. Can you remind the audience the date of the Jolly Trolley Tour?
The Jolly Trolley Tour is October 15th, 2022. It's a little ways away, but I believe one tour is already sold out, or is there some tickets are half sold out, but one bus is already sold out. So get your tickets.
David, where does the VFW meet?
Currently, we meet on the third Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. in Tico Hall. In Tico Hall, we put out the divider. The auxiliary meets on one side of the divider, and we meet on the other. We also try to meet every Thursday night there. The plan currently is that the first Thursday will be some type of community open event. We can even teach babysitting classes. It's whatever the community needs. The second Thursday will be the planning meeting where both the auxiliary and the membership get together and plan. And then the third Thursday is our meeting. The fourth, we're going to try to do training and things like that. But
sounds interesting.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Do you share with kids during a Great American Teach-In about the VFW at all?
We try to get children involved. We have a Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen program, which are core programs that generate grants for these kids, educational grants.
Oh, wow.
And especially here, it's been very difficult to get the schools to open up and support those programs. So even homeschoolers, Cub Scouts, whatever, baseball teams, contact us and let us get you the information, and maybe we can get some of your students some grant money for school.
That's wonderful to know. The hello cards that you mentioned, can kids do those also?
Oh, God, yes. When I was deployed, the best letters I ever got were from school kids.
Oh.
Their questions, their patriotism, their drawing their pictures, just amazing. It definitely raises your spirits.
Wonderful. Your incoming commander, David, posted on the Facebook feed a little bit more information about the organization. So I would suggest anybody that wants to get a little more info from all the things you've talked about.
We have a Facebook page for the membership. We have a Facebook page for the auxiliary. Our post website, vfw12186.org. There's a multitude of information available.
Cool. I think that wraps it up with questions.
All right. Wonderful. That's your weekend wake up. Thank you so much, David, for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Our next episode is Thursday, June 9th, 10 a.m. Joining me will be Chip Potts, and we're going to talk about the BMX track, the BMX opening, the grand opening, bringing BMX back to the city of Oldsmar. The Gator Nationals is coming back. We're going to talk all about that. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be on Thursday, June 9th, because I have a training class on the 10th on Friday all day in Orlando. But Thursday, June 9th, don't miss it, 10 a.m. Thank you, David, again for being our guest today. Learn more about the Oldsmar VFW Post 12186. Visit VFW12186.org, or you can also like them on Facebook. And thanks to everyone for watching this morning. Get up, get out, enjoy Oldsmar, and don't forget, go Tampa Bay Lightning. Go Tampa Bay Lightning. We're going to the Cup for 3 years in a row. Let's go Tampa Bay Lightning. Good job, David. Great job.
Pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. Great job.